Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NBNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock.
Hell yeah.
Add us to the stage.
There it
There
is.
it is.
All right. I got to get used to that intro and when to pop on so I don't interrupt your award-winning Oscar bait. That was beautiful, Kyle.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Hey, go Big Red. Indeed. No block, no rock. The season premiere of our 5th season.
It's pretty cool.
It's wild.
Jesus. We are getting old, fellas.
Especially you.
I said we. Thanks for that, Mike. I appreciate that. All right. Seeing as Nebraska Brewing Company is our main sponsor, let's get into what we're drinking real quick. I got myself a Pils,
Oh,
the Connor Cavalack Special.
goddamn right.
The real feel outside is 111 degrees because why the hell not? Why do humans exist on Earth? Why is this a thing?
Ask Clay, man.
This shit is crazy.
Clay, we had him on, what was it, last week? He will give you the reasons why we exist
God.
here. Don't ask me for that kind
This
of
is
stuff.
not made for humans. 111 degrees. Anyway, that's why I got the Pilsner. It tastes good. It's refreshing. It's a never miss. Right, Connor? You would agree. What you got, man?
Oh, you know.
Shoot.
It just came back. I'm rotating the wrong way. It just came back. Cans came out 2 days ago. You know, the first thing I did when I left work today was I looked at everyone and said, I'm taking a 6-pack for the studio. It's been weeks since we've had it. I need it back. It's the Pilsner.
Peeling back the pills, baby.
Michael Delaware, what are you drinking?
I am drinking the Ale Storm. I don't know. We didn't have that last week, and I wanted some. So pretty excited to get it back. And it's one of my favorite beers at Nebraska Brewing Company. Kyle, what are you drinking over there?
Drinking the EOS Hefeweizen. And I just want to say, we, for the first time, well, not the first time, but we've got like everybody's camera on a TV right next to me so they can all see each other. And if you see them like acting a little weird, like looking at themselves and trying to talk, that's why. But yeah, the EOS Hefeweizen, Nebraska Brewing Company's best beer on tap. That's what I'm rocking.
Hey, I like this because the way the TV's set up, we can see Kevin Gertie's give Kyle his props on the intro. The intro is fi. That's 4 emojis right there. How are you guys doing? Hey, Kyle, we're going to run through the schedule. We're going to talk about some other Husker stuff before that. We're doing pretty good, man.
It's going to be an episode. It's going to be a big episode.
It's going to be something. We're in it. I think, first of all, Nebraska Brewing Company, world class.
in every glass.
Beautiful. With the show of hands, are we all at least predicting a bowl game this year? Show of hands.
You want hands up now?
Just hands up. We're all predicting bowl games here? Okay. Hey.
Cheers to that, guys.
Good vibes only.
Kyle will not be getting up out of his seat and yelling at me.
That was like 3 seasons ago.
I'm just saying, like, there was some heat when we got into some stuff like that back in the past, but we're all on the same page that we think we're going to make a bowl game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Can we get a little round of applause, Kyle? Like, give us a little love.
That's not the same.
Close. It's okay. It's close enough.
Honestly, depending on how the season plays out, we might look back and I was like, oh shit, Kyle was right. Laugh track was right.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, before we get into all that, let's just talk about a few things that have happened in the world of Husker football. Okay. Need your thoughts on no alternates this year. Are we mad? Are we sweating? How are we feeling about no alternates this year?
I love it.
You love it.
I do. I don't think the uniform itself is a distraction but I think it can become one when you lend expectations to a game where it's like, oh, we have these fancy is a word considering what we had last year. I think what the program needs to be focused on right now is put the goddamn jersey on and go win a game. So I love the fact that it's no alternates this year. And frankly, the alternates in recent years haven't been great anyway.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on what we need to do.
Yeah, you pretty much said what I thought about it. The alternates that we've had, because I'm sorry for the listeners out there, Adidas is ass. They don't make good alternate uniforms. We aren't Oregon, so I don't really care. It doesn't affect my world. If you want to get cool, like what I do in NCAA or college football 25, red on red, sick. White on white, sick. Go that route. Do that for the players. Do that for recruiting. Do whatever you got to do.
Okay.
But I don't care. It's not earth shattering that we don't have alternate uniforms, because last year we pretty much had the same shirt that we were every game, but it had blue around
A little Creighton outline on it.
Yeah. So
If you weren't within 10 feet of the jerseys, you couldn't even see the blue.
I know.
What was the point?
It's just stupid.
We're honoring the blue jerseys we wore 100 years ago. Well, then make the jerseys blue.
Actually,
What do you
make them
want?
blue.
I've always been that way. Like, if you're gonna do an alternate, you have to go nuts with it,
Yes.
right? Just go. If you want to look like, if you want Matt Rule to look like Greg McDermott, go for it. Like let's just, if we're gonna do it all the way. Don't. You've ever seen Breaking Bad?
Yes.
No half measures. If you're gonna do something, go all the way. So I didn't lose any sleep over no alternates. I'm like,
KB,
I don't care.
what do you think?
I think Nebraska is a brand recognized against across all of college football. Why do you need the alternates? I'll say I did like the black shirt alternates, but the problem is that we've usually lost all of our alternate jersey games, and then it's just like, okay, well, yeah, the jerseys were cool, but we lost again. So like, I don't care. You're gonna win or you're gonna lose in whatever jersey you're wearing. Who cares?
Can I be the downer?
Yeah.
It didn't really matter if it was an alternate. We've just lost most games.
Yeah. I was going to say
if anything, it should be, why are we still wearing these regular uniforms?
Yeah.
Because we're just losing in them, right?
So there is an elephant in the room, and it's just on your face, Jared.
Oh, we're gonna.
Speaking of like losing,
are we addressing it?
Speaking of losing games, winning games. So Jared had a malfunction with his shaver this week, and he kind of has like his little Orlando Bloom goatee, Pirates of the Caribbean look going. And so my thing is because we want to take winning serious on this podcast, until we lose a game, he has to keep rocking the goatee and not the beard.
Listen, I'm down.
So put in the chat, do you guys like Jared's facial hair?
That's the most important topic we're going to talk about today.
Oh, yeah.
That is the most pressing issue. That is why everybody's in here to listen to us, because they want to hear about your facial hair.
People out there, all my guys out there and bearded ladies, if you will. If you go to shave, just, if you're trying to keep the beard, just make sure the guard's on. Okay?
Is that what it was?
Just, I thought the guard was on. And so, and there's just a fucking strip of just my skin.
And you didn't think like maybe you could just have a mustache with me?
Well,
the
here's the thing.
mustache man.
When
Do you know the mustache man?
Stop.
The mustache man?
The mustache man.
My first thought when I went, I'm like, I'm fucking Connor.
Yeah.
I'm Connor, dude.
Is that a
Holy
bad
shit.
thing? You don't. If you think it is, just shut up. Don't tell me.
But yes, I will keep it. I've gotten a few compliments. And look, when you say Orlando Bloom, listen, I don't like men. I'm not of that persuasion, but I'm saying it could be a lot worse than being compared to Orlando Bloom. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't even
Right.
think you could just say Orlando Bloom's a handsome man.
He's
I
a
don't think
handsome
anybody's
man.
going to disagree with you.
Right. Or do I look like Johnny Depp? Because Johnny Depp is
No,
the whole
you
thing
wish.
too.
No,
Yeah.
you don't look like Johnny Depp. That guy's a badass.
Rude.
Before we continue the program on Nebraska football, I do want to give a special shout out to our sponsors at Caniglias and Mano. Caniglias and Mano is a local family-owned pizza and pub in Papillion, Nebraska. Caniglias produces high-quality food and service while cultivating great relationships with a community. Mano translates to by hand, which is exactly what you'll get. Dough, meatballs, fresh chopped veggies, signature sauces, and house dressings. Caniglias Mano has created a welcoming atmosphere where you are greeted with a smile and treated like family. If you're looking for authentic flavors, check out Caniglias Mano. It is closed on Mondays. And so all the sponsors that we have on this podcast are closed on Mondays. So it's really easy to remember. If we are live, our sponsors are closed.
Okay, now shout out to Caniglias.
Yes.
Okay. When we were talking to Astro Clay last week, the astronaut, I went out of my way to say Caniglias because apparently that is how you say it. It's like a silent G.
No, it's
I got a comment.
It's Caniglias.
Okay, I'm just
Now
saying
with that family, it's Caniglia.
Yeah, that
Okay.
particular family is
Different-
Caniglias Mano.
Must be a different family then.
Yes.
So our Facebook commenter that said, "Thank you for actually saying the name right," was wrong.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That family is Caniglia.
Whole
Yeah,
different
it's
family.
Caniglia.
They're not related in any way.
What's crazy?
Okay, hard G then.
Hard G.
Yeah.
Hard G.
What's crazy? Mike actually rattled that whole ad spot off the top of his head. If you're watching live, shut up. That was
Yeah,
totally off
yeah.
the top of his
Totally
head.
at the top of my head. But yeah, shout out to them. They are awesome. They gave us pizza last week, and it was probably the best pizza I've ever had in the city of Omaha.
Yeah,
So,
I'll tell you off the top of the head. I took some of those wings home to my wife, and
No
we loved them.
Dude,
Like
they're so good.
it was the mango habanero bone-in, like traditional wings, and the food was just, bomb. It
Yeah.
was just so good.
Okay, have we done the argument? I know we do trough urinal all the time. Have we done bone in versus boneless?
Oh my God. That's an easy one, though. It's bone in all day.
See, I disagree. I'm a boneless guy.
Oh, so you like chicken nuggets? You're a chicken
First-
nugget guy.
First of all,
on the
yes.
chicken
Do you not like chicken nuggets?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, they're not
Do-
wings, they're chicken
No,
nuggets.
hold on. Do you like chicken nuggets?
I do like chicken nugs.
Okay, so don't come after me.
But
Sometimes
they're
I
not-
like my chicken nuggets with a little bit of flavor.
yeah, but they're not wings.
Yeah, they're the same thing.
They're-
Anywho,
I hate
Yeah.
both of you.
Anyways, all right, back to your
Yes.
resume the,
Well, let's get into
the program.
Let's get into
I'm just
stuff.
looking at some of the comments, and we'll see if we address any of those. Another thing, Kirk Ferentz getting suspended for a game.
Mhm.
It's cool, I guess. Like,
Ha 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 ha.
like, hey, we're in this world of college football where we still pretend that there are rules. Apparently, like we're still doing this. There's no rules. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
Am I alone in this?
No.
Why are we still acting like there's rules?
Well,
Like with the Harbaugh last year and all this shit and Stallions, just win.
that
whatever it
scenario
takes.
though isn't it ironic though that Iowa gets in trouble for talking to a guy before he went to the transfer portal who is from Michigan, who recently just actually got in trouble for the like kind of the same crap.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe they just whistle blew and they're like, hey, well, if you're gonna get us in trouble, Kirk Ferentz reached out to Cade McNamara.
Bunch
Yeah.
of snitches.
So that's kind of how I feel it went. It was like, oh, well, don't shit on us, shit on him, them too. So
Yeah, somebody's like, okay, well, they did it.
Yeah.
I mean, if it came down to it, if it's like a recruiting violation and you're going to get some with what Michigan got, a slap on the wrist, but I had to trade that for a natty. Hell, for Nebraska, I'll take a Big Ten title. And I have to trade a slap on the wrist for a recruiting violation. Yeah, do it.
Yep.
Do it right now.
Yep.
I don't care.
Dude, I don't care if oh God. I'll take a murder for 9 wins, bro.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Nope, not murder.
Kill somebody. Kill me.
Put it in the chat.
okay.
What would you give up for Nebraska to win 9 games this year? Put it in the chat. What would you give up for Nebraska to win 9 games?
My beard.
I would
about
say
Oh, go babyface Jared again.
is that what happened?
No, I
here?
mean okay.
No, babyface
Oh,
Jared.
God.
Would you do that for
I-
9 wins?
I would rather die than do that. Because it's
You just begged.
I've seen
you
it.
just got. You
This is
begged
different.
to
This
be
is-
killed.
no, I know. I'd rather be killed than shave my whole beard off. That's how bad it looks.
What about 10
I
wins?
remember.
10 wins?
Now we're talking.
So-
He said, okay.
I'm not
okay.
shaking hands.
He went from I'd rather die to okay, 10 wins. Okay,
10
I
wins,
consider.
I'll
it.
babyface. Okay, so put that down, guys. If we get to 10 wins this year, Jared will be clean shaven.
Okay, just
That's it.
shut up.
It's fine. It's
No,
not going to
because-
happen.
well,
It's not gonna
we'll
happen.
get into that.
We'll get
Wait,
into that.
Okay, so I know we have a lot of things planned for this episode. Do we want to go our full season predictions and then game by game, or game by game then full season?
I was thinking we would just do game by game first.
Game by game's fine.
Okay, but before that though, just real quick, I don't know. I was a little surprised by this next thing. Tommy Hill and Field Yates. Field Yates works for ESPN, and he did his mock draft.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Tommy Hill in the first round, according to him. And I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, really? Okay. And I can even read the quote that he said. Hill is a star with even more room to grow. Agreed. Well, maybe not with the star part, but we'll see. As he played wideout early in his college career and is still refining the nuances of the cornerback position, Yates wrote, he has a nose for the football, 7 pass breakups and 4 interceptions last year, and is fearless, unafraid to make plays near the line of scrimmage in the run game. So Tommy Hill, first round, crazy?
Yes.
Well, yeah, a little bit.
Crazy. I think it's a little crazy myself.
I think I could reasonably see a late 2 or 3rd round. I get that. Like, that's, I think, a very solid place for him right now.
Dude, I mean, if he was 2nd round, even then I'd be like, damn, that's pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
Considering like everything he's been through and all that.
I could see a late 2nd or a 3rd round pick, but unless there is a great season out here, I think 1st round is maybe a bit absurd.
And we've had tweets recently of Pat McAfee, Joel Klatt, all these different media outlets are taking their turns praising Nebraska.
Glazing Nebraska.
Glazing's another one. They are doing that, and I feel like this just goes right in that same category.
Throw it right in that glaze bucket.
Because they love the traffic that Nebraska fans bring when you say nice things about them. And they like that when they say bad things to you, they like that too. But yeah. But it's off-season time. Nebraska always wins the off-season.
Indeed.
So let's glaze them up a little bit, get the traffic we want, and then move on.
It's one thing I say every year. It's how you know it's August is when you start seeing the national media outlets tweeting constantly about Nebraska. And like, obviously this offseason, particularly, a lot of really good additions, a lot of good things happening. But do we deserve that attention? Maybe not. But that's how you know it's August. They're talking about Nebraska because if there's one thing the Nebraska fan base does, it's click.
Click. Listen, guys, it's game week. Just
thank God.
Hold on. Just let that wash over you.
Hey, cheers.
I have goosebumps.
Let that wash. Hey, yes, it is washing over you. Yes, it is game week, and we could talk about the single digiters. I had that on my list, but I'm like,
yeah, boring.
What have I been saying for the past like fucking 2 months? Can we just get a game? And it's here, right? Yep. It's here. So I don't think we need to waste any more time. Talk about single digit. We don't need to do that.
There was one thing, and I don't think we were able to address it last week. The only thing that was striking to me was that there was only one offensive player in the single digits.
Who cares?
I know, like
I like that it was Jamal Banks.
I don't want to call it political. I don't think that's what it is.
Political.
It's not political.
It's always, hey, but like everything is political.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, here's the thing. The guys that had it last year are still on the team. They're still here. So there wasn't a lot of numbers. It's 0 through 9. And then offensive lineman can't get it. So there's half the offense gone.
And you got to consider maybe Dylan didn't want number 1, right? Or so that would have been another maybe.
Or they are not going to let a true freshman qualify for it yet.
I think Dylan knows what number he wants.
He got it. It's 15.
Fifth sign.
Yeah.
Fifth sign.
Because of Tim Tebow, not Mahomes, right?
Right. Of course, Tebow. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I kind of jumped the gun because I did say that we would kind of touch on the depth chart. Is that still something you guys want to talk about? Is there like anything on the depth chart that you're really itching to talk about? Because there is a few things that I'm excited for.
There was
and concerned about.
Most notably, like the one thing that I thought was interesting was the slot. Looking like we're going for size over speed because that's going to be Bonner, right? Yeah, Bonner at slot 1. That was interesting to me. I don't think it's a bad move. I actually think it's really great. I think Janier Bonner is a great athlete, and I think he's going to fit in really well there. But it would I thought maybe IGC, coming back if he's healthy, like ready to rock. I think that's probably where I would have gone. But again, I don't get paid that big money to make those decisions.
I would say like when I look at this, I think, all right, the tackle position, if God forbid something were to happen to the starter, it's a big yikes. Okay.
Well, yeah, because now the backup's not on the depth chart.
And I say that with the caveat of if most teams were to lose their starting tackle, it's a yikes, right?
Mhm.
I mean, Nebraska's no different, but I think it's just especially like red alarm. Like, you ever seen Kill Bill when someone's about to go nuts? I don't like what I'm seeing there. And in terms of the depth, you already mentioned Janiron Bonner. That's my dude. Seeing him in the slot, starting there, like as long as he's not like third, because I've been kind of glazing him up, and I'm like, I like Janiron. And if he was like third on that list, I'd be like, God dang it, really? The size at wide receiver is just boom.
Love it.
6'4", 6'3". Like, it's really popping off the page to me. And of course, instead of RB, that should just be OR.
Yeah. That's my big thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Is the OR.
OR.
So
I call them the 4 ours.
the 4 O's.
Yeah.
Why do you call them the 4 Ors? Why?
Well,
It's him or him or him or him.
So, like, and it's in order of jersey number, okay? So it's not like Ramir Johnson is the starter. He might go out there for the first snap at UTEP versus UTEP, but that doesn't mean he's going to come out the next play. Like, that's how this is going to work.
no.
Is you're going to have Ramiro out there, play a play. He's going out.
No.
I don't
Gabe,
think, no.
come on.
It's
I
going to
don't
be
think
by
it's a-
drive in situation.
Okay.
And that's what the wide receivers too. Like, I was surprised the Oars were only on running back because, for instance, Jalen Lloyd. Jalen Lloyd is not an outside guy. They're going to move him all around. He's going to be in the slot. He's going to be outside, inside, outside, all over. Running back, maybe. Like, I'm surprised the Oars are there. I think running backs are going to be very similar. It's going to be situational football. I think Emmett's going to be the first running back out there. And then Ramiro come in on third downs and third and longs, catching situations. I don't know a role for Gabe yet. I really don't. And then Dowdell, he trucked a guy on that Chasing 3 video. So God knows you got to throw him on the or thing too.
Here we go.
So one thing I want to jump back to left tackle really quick. And I don't know if we've said this on air yet. We might have maybe a couple of weeks ago. Was there are rumors that maybe Ben Scott gets moved out to left tackle. He's got experience there.
Yeah.
He does. And while we appreciate 69, we've seen some not so great games. So is that something you guys would be in favor of? Do you like Ben Scott staying at center? Is Sam Sledge ready to get up into that slot? What are you guys thinking?
If I see,
I don't know.
If I see freshman or redshirt freshman, I'm automatically no. I can't take playing freshman anymore. Can't do it.
Not at that position.
On the whole O-line, I'm just totally against it.
That is a red shirt freshman. Both of them are red shirt
and
freshmen.
again,
Yes, I know, but I'm still no. That's just me though.
Well, again, I come back to we saw last season we had 2 games from 69 with the PFF of 0.
We all had
So
0
combined. So are you more concerned about putting in a redshirt freshman in at center or having 69 out there on the left tackle?
Well, I don't think that's how it'll work. If 69 gets hurt, I don't think he will be pulled at all based on abilities. He will be pulled if he's hurt. That dude is a veteran, and Matt Rule really likes him. So he's going to be your left tackle. Get used to it. I think the only way that Ben Scott potentially moves out there and Evans Jenkins would go into center because he almost beat Ben Scott out for the center job last year, and he is the actual backup center. It'd be a lot of rotation, and then you'd probably have Latovsky come in at the guard position. So you can look at this depth chart over there. But in reality, once an injury happens, it all is off the table. And same with running back, same with wide receiver. This entire depth chart, it is just smoke.
Oh, it's just another thing to talk about.
Yes.
Another thing that stands out are like some of the names that we don't see. I know we're looking at the offense. So you don't see Jacob Hood anywhere.
Nope.
Like,
that's okay.
Ethan
Piper told us, dude, that guy's super talented,
and that was off.
I'm just saying, but he could that guy's super talented. He's probably never going to play.
And at the risk of sounding like a dick, okay, you can't be on the team. Sorry, you just can't. If you cannot crack this, and you were recruited by Georgia, like something is not working, and you're taking up a spot. Okay, I'm sorry. I know that's being a dick, but you just cannot afford to be taking up a roster spot. We gotta get you going, okay?
Especially with the talks of roster limits coming out and stuff like that. Yeah.
Another thing that, and then you don't have the defense up.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can.
It can be.
Yep.
Okay. No Jeremiah Charles anywhere. And that was a dude who people talked about a lot with athleticism, but he is a freshman. So, like, there's a part of me that's glad to not see him. Because, again, I just don't like playing true freshmen unless they're Dylan Raiola. But the fact that we don't see him anywhere, it's like, okay, that's curious. But everything else, par for course, yeah?
Yeah.
No surprises.
And those are the entire defense is the definition of or. Because we saw it last year.
They're all going to play.
Yeah. Matt Rule plays a lot of guys.
Rotation.
It's rotation, keeping guys fresh and getting young guys reps. He did that last year all season. He's going to continue to do that this season. So I'm surprised there's not a million ors on there, but that's there for the people to overanalyze like us.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's interesting.
Another thing that we talked about just before the episode started was I don't know if it's reassuring or it concerns me for the future, is that every defensive starter listed is an upperclassman. Every single one of them. Obviously you want that veteran experience out there. But what does that mean as we go, down the ranks or go through into the next couple of years? We have a bit more to bring up.
Sure. And that's obviously another thing about the O-line too, is like everybody on the O-line is my age, AKA
They're 38.
old. They're very old. And so, yeah, when we get into next year, let's worry about that next year.
Yeah.
Let's just stick to 2024. I ain't trying to think of next year. Did you make a special teams one or no?
No, I didn't.
And that's okay.
That's okay. Because there's ors on that.
There's ors everywhere on there.
Yes.
And even Matt Rule of a few days ago was like, yeah, kicking.
It exists.
It's there.
It's there. Like that. Matt Rule usually will be complimentary to things, even if it doesn't deserve to be complimentary. So when he comes out and talks about the kicking game and he says, yeah, it's a worry. Kill Bill. Chasing three. Yep.
Chasing three when your place kicker won last year.
Kyle, put it on me.
Lacked success.
Chasing
three.
Anyways, there we go.
And then we saw him in the spring game. Missed a lot of kicks. Then supposedly is hurt. And then you've got two other guys that are now in the mix for kicker. And I feel like the way Matt Rule talks about the kicking situation is he really, really wants Tristan Avano to be the kicker. But
yeah,
I feel like he can't do it. And I think that's why this whole thing is just getting dragged out more and more, is because he can't do it.
And it doesn't help, assuming the injury is real, right? It doesn't help that he hasn't been consistently kicking. He did say during practice, like, at least they are making kicks, Ottomanelli and Hole, at least. Thank God for those guys. And we're saying that without them even kicking in the game yet, but thank God for depth at that position.
I like what Mike said when he said that it seems like Matt Rule really wants Alvano to be the kicker. He wants that.
He definitely does.
Yeah, but I like that you say he wants it, but he can't do it, because Matt Rule, from what we've seen so far, it's only been one season, is able to discern between wants and needs. And I'm hoping that in the special teams department, that is a very, very clear line of, I want you here, but I need better results.
If you're Tristan and you see that your head coach brought in 2 additional kickers,
what does that tell you?
like, I'd be like, oh shit.
Time to earn it.
He went 9 for 15 last year, which, on paper is like, ugh. But dude, even if you make 2 more kicks, let's just say he makes 2 more.
Still not that good.
But that might be another win.
Oh, it would have definitely.
And that's a bowl.
Win. Yes.
It's just amazing how, like, I don't want to say razor thin, but the margin of error, especially in the kicking game, with this program, especially where every game is you're tearing your freaking nails out because you're stressed. What if you just make 2 more kicks? Whoa.
Matt Rule has talked about it recently. He's like, he literally said like the margin of error in the Big Ten is paper thin. You cannot mess up. You just can't do it. And so you, in like the Chasing 3 documentary or the series or whatever, you just hear him talking about it over and over and over and over again. Like Chasing 3. It's the little things. It's the little things. And he just keeps talking about it the year coming up this season. He's like, we're going to be in so many 1-score games. You have to try to figure out how to eliminate those tiny little errors, missed field goals, things like that, where it'll end your season. We saw it last year.
For a few months, we have said, and I think we still subscribe to this, is like the title of Chasing 3 is like,
It's so ironic.
it's, well, you know, we've said it's a terrible title, and
It's sad.
but it's like, it's totally accurate.
Yeah.
Like it's literally on the nose as to what Nebraska needs to do to win games. And so, you know, of course he that's his message, right? Chasing 3. We've said it's a terrible thing to say because we fear that they'll chase and not exactly catch the 3, but he's sending a message, right? He's sending a message. He's always sending a message.
Well, our friend Ryan Kreklow in the chat says they should maybe pivot to preventing 3 instead of chasing 3. And I will say this, as good as that defense was last year, there were several times, Maryland was one, where they just could not get off the field when they absolutely needed to.
Yeah.
So preventing 3 is good too.
You're right, because, dude, you brought up Maryland. Like, they played very well against Tagovailoa, and it's like, damn, you need to stop. Next thing you know, it's a 50-yard run.
Yep.
What? Yeah. And then against Iowa, you're literally dominating them. You've blocked a few of their kicks. You might even say that Bushini out-punted Torrey Taylor that game.
Yep.
Like, you need a freaking stop, and you give up a run up the middle. It's just this defense was really good until they weren't.
Until it was
just
big.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just kind of sucks, though, because they put the defense in shitty spots, and they rose to the occasion more times than not.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't want to point the finger all the time, but the defense had plenty of opportunities to point the finger. And I feel like Matt Rule does a really good job of like trying to go to bat for that situation too, where he's like, well, you know, our defense was good, but we got to take care of the football. You're not going to play football. Like, so
I know. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a rational Nebraska fan, though, that is blaming the outcome of that season on the defense.
No way in hell.
I think you'd be very hard pressed to find a rational fan.
I would love to meet that person
and then get them checked out.
That would be, you put them in a straitjacket, right? Okay. Anything else you want to talk about before we do the game by game?
Well, maybe we take a quick break, and then we will get into game by game and give our season predictions. A quick 1 minute and 30-second break, and then get new beers, and we'll be right back to do that.
Kyle, play your fancy new video, bro.
Sounds good. Okay, here we go.
everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
We have the saying, no block, no rock.
Thank you, Method Man, and thank you, Troy Walters. Our viewers out there, 135 of you. This Friday, if you are in the Omaha area, we are doing a live show at the Hurrdat Sports Bar in La Vista, Nebraska. Okay, that's the one on Giles, yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
right next to Cabela.
By Cabela's. We're doing a live show Friday night at 6:30. I want to see all 130-something of you there. There is, like, you have to buy tickets. But
you don't buy tickets.
How
It's
much
free.
do they cost?
It's free.
Put the camera on Mike because he knows.
The tickets are free.
They're free.
We'll drop the link with this episode. The tickets are free. Eventbrite. You go in there, just say that you're going. It's just to get a head count of how many people are actually showing up. So they have enough tables for you to be there. So, it's going to be an interactive show. And we're going to get everybody involved, everybody in the restaurant. If you can't make it, maybe you're not local and you want to participate. We're going to have the ability for you to join and interact with the show. So it's going to be really cool. We've never done anything like this before. We're really excited for our friends with Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. So make sure you guys go check that out on 120th and Giles, kind of right in there.
Around there.
And let us know if you're coming. We'd love to see you there. So
I do. I want to give one quick shout out to Coach BA.
yeah, he's going to be there.
Yeah, he's been writing for us for a while now.
Hell yeah, bro.
And he messaged me on Facebook.
Red Zone Reflections.
Yeah, and was talking about how he's going to be there. So Coach BA, we are excited to see you there.
Making the drive.
Yeah, it'll be my first time meeting Coach BA in person.
Yeah, none of us actually met him in person. And then Emily Kading should also be there as well. So both of our writers for MBNRpodcast.com will be at the live show on Friday at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill
Love
in
it.
La Vista. So
Yes,
we'd love to see you there. Support the pod. Come in, shoot some shit, talk shit. We don't care. It's Nebraska Football Eve. So why not do it with us?
Oh, we're gonna go so hard. Oh, we're gonna go so hard.
yeah. Nebraska Football Eve.
It's like Christmas.
It is like Christmas. We get freaking 12 of those. That's it. And then it's done. And then we have to do this all over again.
Well, hey, this season, hopefully it's 13.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
There's 12.
Wow.
That's it, man. That's it. Dude,
12
football
guaranteed.
football season goes by so fast. And then it's 9 months of just episode after episode after episode.
It feels like it's been a decade since I've been this excited to be sitting.
No, it's not.
We didn't even have the
Literally,
studio.
You were sitting in front of that microphone last year, excited. As excited as you are now.
I know, but it feels like it's been a decade.
And 2 years prior to that, you were excited too. And, yeah.
I know. It's so nice. I love this feeling.
Aaron Henderson, we appreciate you saying Timmer.
Yes.
Trust and Matt rule.
We love that.
All right. Now we can get into game by game.
Game by game.
All right.
So we're going to go around the table.
Yep.
We're going to say if it's a win, we'll go back and forth. Look at the stat line a little bit. We have that there for the viewers.
Kyle's going to make us real sad.
Yes. Okay. So quick narrative on what you're looking at here. The red means Nebraska was worse in this category of the stat line. Green means that they were better. And I hope that this does not shock anyone too bad because there are some glaring issues.
Points per game.
Now, there is also a caveat to all of this. Obviously, this is 2023 stats. Things change over a year.
We hope.
You hope. And we don't know the defensive ranks that these teams were playing. We don't know the offensive ranks that these teams were playing.
Right.
So it's just there as a fluff. If it just gives you something to look at and we kind of talk about as we go along.
So you're not just looking at our ugly mugs. You can look at the stats too.
Yeah.
Okay. UTEP. I personally have this as a win.
A win.
Yeah. I think they start off 1-0. Some people might say this game is, low key. It's very important. Okay. Like, it's okay to say that this game is important.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Like, you can, on one hand, say that UTEP is not a good team, but just with everything about Nebraska football, with their they need to get off to a quick start. Okay. They need to get off to a positive start. They are starting a true freshman quarterback. it's special circumstances. Okay. So this game is very important. I think they will win.
Okay. Jared, I will have to agree with you. I believe that we will beat UTEP, hopefully handily. This is the first time Nebraska is opening up against a non-conference opponent at home since 2018. So I would say let's take advantage of that.
Take advantage of that.
Let's do that. Let's get a tune-up game per se, and let's get ready for Colorado. I think it's a good game to get reps, get Dylan's feet wet, let that defense just feast, hopefully, and just take care of business. But given the recent history of Nebraska football, do not overlook your opponent because you will lose. So,
But you will lose, and you have.
And you have lost. So I will say, though, Nebraska should take care of business because UTEP.
So I'm going to agree with both of you.
Now, we're all going to keep track of our own records. I'm not keeping track of all y'all records, okay?
I know my record.
All right.
I'll agree with both of you that I think this game is a win. But I think this game is dangerous. Not because I necessarily believe it's a trap game, but because if what I think could happen, I think Nebraska fans could develop unrealistic expectations for Dylan Raiola. And that's where I think things get dangerous. Not in the play on the field, but in expectation. This is a game. We talked about, I know we were all texting in our group chat about Georgia Tech upsetting Florida State and how nice it must be to win games you shouldn't win. This is a game we should win. And I don't want to say Georgia Southern, but I have. This is a game where we should go out. We should win handily. And if we do that, I think it's important to understand that's, like Mike said, the tune-up game. So expect good things, but don't, get too excited for weeks or after that.
Okay, KB.
Okay, I've got a W. Non-con, at home, under the lights. That's all you need to say. Bam.
Okay, now again, just to add a few things, I think what we can expect from UTEP, we're supposed to have a UTEP guy.
Yeah, he didn't come, but it's fine.
It's okay. From what I've heard, they like to move fast. They like to do quick. And so I think what you hope for as a black shirt defense is you put them in 3rd and long and you get off the damn field. Can we do that, please?
That'd be good practice.
Can we get some pressure on the QB?
That would be cool.
Let's get some lost yardage, right? Maybe some sacks. Put them in 3rd and long. Get off the field. Get Dylan some reps. Dylan is probably going to throw a pick. It's okay. He needs to throw a pick because he's going to eventually. So do it. Do it now. Get it over with. Get all your little jitters out. Not just Dylan, everybody. Okay? Make your mistakes now. Overcome them. Get this dub. Which I think they will. Okay.
Matt Rule did say today that he would rather lose the first game than the last game. I'm going to tell you, Matt Rule.
No!
Please don't lose this game.
No!
That's all I got to say. Now, I know what he's saying is that he just wants to get better throughout the season. I get it. But
not this one.
Let's take it for real. I do not want to lose this game to UTEP. So please don't.
BA in the chat. BA. We do not know more than Matt Rule, but no! No. Like Michael Scott, your favorite fucking show. No. Game 2.
Game 2. We're moving on.
Colorado. Under the lights, prime time, literally, in more ways than one. Okay? Under the lights. I don't think this is hyperbole, 2 of the best college football players in the nation. Okay? Shadir and Travis. I don't think it's crazy to say that. I have this as an L. I don't think they can meet the moment just yet. It's an L for me. Okay. I have to see it.
So,
which is kind of like circular logic. Because, you have to see it. Well, then it has to happen. And then, it's a whole thing. I have to see it. I'm skeptical. I have this as an L.
Jared, you pretty much said what I wanted to say about this game. I have this as an L as well. And it kills me to say that because I hate everything that there is to do with Colorado. I hate their coach. I hate their quarterback. I hate everything that is going on with the clown show that is Boulder.
Just their philosophy in general.
Just everything. It's just like the opposite of what we're doing here in Nebraska. Until I see them beat a team that they're supposed to beat, and it's a rivalry game, a team that beat them by 3 scores last year, and I understand, well, we gave them the ball 7 times. I get it. But until I see them do it, I'm not going to say they're going to do it because Colorado can create their own energy too. And there are going to be Colorado fans there, and it is a rivalry game. So there's a lot of factors in this game, a lot of national coverage. There's going to be a lot of hype for this game coming into that game, and I am just nervous as hell to watch a true freshman quarterback, even though it's at home, a true freshman quarterback play in a game like this. And I hope and I pray to God we win this game. But until I see them win games they're not supposed to win or are supposed to win, just win in general.
Yeah.
I have to say it's an L.
So Mike and I
are at 1-1.
Mike and I to start, our balloon knots are tight a little bit. Are you going to loosen us up, Connor Kavalak? Or are you going to make it tighter?
I'm going to call this a dub.
A little loose.
So there's a couple of reasons. A, the environment that's coming through, like tickets anywhere in that stadium are going for $550. All of Nebraska wants to be at this game. And that crowd atmosphere, I'm imagining, is going to be like akin to 2014 Miami. What was it? What year was Michigan? 2018? 2017 Michigan, maybe?
19?
19?
No, 21.
What?
Was it 21?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, 21.
The Michigan game.
Yeah,
The
21.
Michigan game was
That-
21. Yeah.
This is going to be one of the most electric atmospheres ever, and I understand that Colorado roster has seen it. One thing that I think Nebraska can do to really gain an edge here is if they are going to try and run Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball again, our receiving core is very fast and very capable. I am anytime I see Hunter on one of my receivers, go routes all day long. Make him run
Or don't
tire
throw
him
at
out. Tire him out. You don't have to throw to him. You
Okay.
don't have to throw at him at all.
Okay.
Tire him out. Shedeur Sanders is a good quarterback. I don't like the guy personally. That's me. But he is a good quarterback.
That's
and I
all
think
of us.
You're crazy to say that he's not capable. But I do think Nebraska, I understand the freshman quarterback situation at Nebraska. I get that. I think Nebraska has the tools to get this done. The environment's there, and I think you can tire out their best players, namely Travis Hunter, if you just attack that. I think this is a dub. I think it's going to be a very close game, though.
Agreed. Yeah. Close.
God, here we go.
Oh, no. Are you making us tight again?
It's me and Connor versus Mike and Jared.
Kyle's going to start yelling at us.
No,
I don't know if you guys saw, but Kyle and I smiled at each other while Mike was still talking.
I knew how this was going to go.
Hey, no, okay. I mean, if you back that up if you want to, or
Please.
whatever.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
No, whatever.
I think the offensive line, the defensive line for Colorado, I think their defensive line has improved. I think that's kind of what people are saying, but their offensive line is still just in shambles. And to be totally honest with you, I think this is the year that Dion is literally freaking out. I think he's like, holy shit, this could go real bad. Just, following him, banning the Colorado Reporter from their press conferences and all this other stuff, right? He is he's kind of freaking out a little bit. I just don't know if Shedeur and Travis Hunter are going to be enough, just those two, to beat us at home under the lights. They're good. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Right. But I just don't. I think this is where we finally see the development parallels between Dion and Matt Rule. I think this is where you see it.
This is where it bears fruit right here.
This is where that kind of comes out, and you kind of see what Dion's doing is not working, and what Matt Rule has done is working. So I say this is a win.
I hope you and Connor are completely right.
Mhm.
Jared and I are fucking idiots. I hope that happens.
Yeah.
But until
Same.
I see it, I cannot agree with you.
And listen, this is where I thought. Listen, we're gonna get deep here.
Get it.
I thought that I had changed. I thought that, you know what, Mike and Jared have been right over the last 3-4 years. You need the proof to see it. I just genuinely think the proof that we've seen from the media and kind of how these programs have been led since our last meeting in Boulder, I think that there's just a big difference. And I think this one's a win.
You are making fair points. Usually, if a coach starts or a public figure starts shutting out certain people from like your media gatherings, it's not a good sign. Like, you're being a snowflake right now. Like, yeah, I get that this dude might have wrote some negative stories, but you guys weren't good last year.
You went 4-8.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of snow out in Boulder, baby.
a
A lot of snow.
So yeah, I think, Kyle, I'm not saying you've convinced me, but
Sure.
it would be such a huge, this is a mindset game for me, man. I'm telling you, like, can we do it?
Please.
Can we do it? Can we do it? A primetime game with everybody watching.
Well, I don't think you should say prime time.
It is what it is, man.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Like, just a mindset game. Okay. Not a physical game. This will be one that if Nebraska wins and Colorado ends up flaming out, like, people are gonna like minimize it. I'm not, because in the moment it's going to be a freaking circus. It's going to be crazy,
It's
right?
going to be a dogfight.
It's going to take a mentally tough team to overcome all that and pull out a dub. So in the moment, even if Colorado ends up 3-9 or whatever and doesn't make a bowl or whatever, to me, I am still like putting value on this if they win.
So, Jared, what I'm interested to see is when we get to game week for Colorado, if you or I change our tone after watching what we do to UTEP or what we don't do with UTEP.
Sure.
Hell, I might change my tone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dude, I'm very interested to see if we all stay the course of our predictions right now in week 1 as we do in week 2. So it'll be very interesting next week.
Yeah.
Can I go a little bit crazy here?
Oh, boy.
Cuckoo Connor.
I understand it is week 2 when we play Colorado. I get that. Can this be like, considering what happened last season, is Colorado in week 2, if you win healthy, is that a season defining game?
No.
For me, it would be.
It's not a season defining game because there's just so many games after.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
we
not
talked about
saying
this
that
too.
means that
Yeah,
you're going to
for
win
it.
every game after it.
I know. I'm just
But
saying.
can it be season defining to get that done?
Right. Could it be the catalyst?
Yeah, it could drive a lot what happens this season, but I don't think it determines what we do in this season if we win or lose this game. It's a big game. I'm not diminishing that. I just don't think that if you win this game, you're gonna win 10 games. I don't think they correlate. I don't think what happens in this game is gonna correlate how you. I mean, obviously, if you win the game, your record could be better, but I don't think they correlate in how much success you have in the season.
You don't think the confidence, if you come in and, like, I guess you go into Memorial and you beat Colorado, you don't think that confidence really shoots you up with this yapper over here and you shut them down? Like, you don't think going into week 3, that's a big thing? And maybe
But we play UNI, so it's kind of like you go and play Colorado, you get the highest of the high, and then you got to come back down and go play UNI. So I don't know, and that gets dangerous too because it's like you're coming off the biggest high.
Oh, I have talks on week 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's get to it.
So Kim, your mother, had quoted that the Colorado game is a set the tone game.
Mhm.
Okay.
I like that.
But here's the thing, right? There's 2 different tones that can result from that. It could be a great tone or a not great tone. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. Northern Iowa. I think it's fair to say, I think, regardless of what happens against Colorado, I don't want to overlook them at all, but I think they get the dub.
I'll keep it short and simple.
Keep it short and simple.
I think we'll beat Northern Iowa. And I've got some Iowa and Iowa State friends that say, oh, I can't wait to watch Nebraska play UNI because my Iowa State and Iowa Hawkeyes, they struggle with UNI every time they schedule them. No, we're going to take care of business. We're going to win at least 2 scores, take care of business, beat UNI.
If there was a trap game on the schedule, this is it. I genuinely believe that. I do believe it's a dub, but this is certainly not a game to be overlooked. UNI is good. they move the ball incredibly well, I still think Huskers by 14.
And Kyle, before you go,
Yeah.
I will just say, like, kind of piggybacking off you. The week before, yes, it will be emotional, right? There's going to be a lot of emotion poured into it, whether or not you want to admit that. It's going to be a lot of emotion poured into it. And so what you hope for is not a letdown. Again, regardless of what happens against Colorado. Either you win and you're joyous and then you shit the bed against Northern Iowa, or you lose against Colorado and you're down in the dumps like us fans will be, right? The team can be, we can. So either way, you got to be able to get back on that horse. Cow Byers.
I think this is a W, but I think it's a little closer than what you guys are. Their special teams, good, real good.
Do they still have the same kicker and everything?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a good question. I probably should have known that, but no, I don't know. And the turnover margin, they're good on defense at taking the ball. So
Kyle,
and if we know anything about turnover margin,
yeah.
Kyle, do I show them perfect on field goal attempts?
Yes.
19 for 19.
Yes.
Interesting.
So, I mean, fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
I think
They're not chasing 3.
Definitely not.
Maybe I'm wrong. I think they play in a dome, the UNI dome. So I think that might help a little bit. So once you get in front of 90,000 in red going, oh, are you going to kick the same? I think if Nebraska players have shown you that,
Well,
no, they won't.
Here's my thing. Do you think all 19 of those field goals were kicked inside their dome?
I am not saying that. I am just saying that would be a nice boost to the stats.
So a good sign is that Matthew Cook, their kicker from last year, was a senior last year.
He gone.
So that is a pro.
Did we get him?
Well, hold on.
Did he transfer here?
That would be a pro.
seventh
Does
year
he have
senior?
another year?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got 10 years to play college football right
Yeah,
now.
that is
Is he
true.
coming back?
I've still got 2 years.
I feel like those rosters, though, they usually, if they're a senior, I usually think they put them as a junior if they have another year of eligibility. But I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. An interesting tidbit here from the BA coaches show. UNI only has 2 returning defensive starters and is switching concepts offensively. So maybe everything that I just said is bullshit.
Are they running the option? They're my new favorite team. I don't know.
You shut up.
All right. Next one.
Okay. So
We've got Illinois, the Fighting Illini.
Illinois, Friday night.
Fighting Big Berts.
The Fighting Berts. I have this down as a W. KB, earlier during the College World Series, you had brought up that the Bert Show in Champaign, Illinois might not be quite Wisconsin-esque, if you will. There might be some... what's the word? Disarray, I guess. Some disarray in Champaign. So I'm hoping that will result in a Illinois loss. Put another L in Illinois.
Okay.
Okay. So I think it'll be a Nebraska dub.
So I think we will win as well. And I want to go back in time a little bit to the last time that Illinois came to Memorial Stadium and they mocked the fans and they mocked the team. And we went into Champaign and took business last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will be a ass whooping because I can picture it in my head watching that game from my seats in Memorial Stadium and watching their fans or their players just clown our team and clown our fans and winning that game by a lot. It's like 26-9. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
26-9. Just no. Taking care of business, beating Bert, getting a dub.
I like where your head's at. I do agree. I have this as a win as well.
Okay. You're at 4-0.
Yep. I'm at 4-0 right now. I have it as a win.
Get it.
I do not think it's an ass whipping. I have this at a 10-point rock fight. Like I think that's where it's at. Again, we're coming off of, Colorado, then UNI. Dylan Riley was kind of settling in, but that O-line, I think we're going to see some issues there. And especially on that left end, concerns me a little bit. So I think this is a dub, but it's going to be closer than people think.
Okay.
I'm at 4-0.
God damn it, Kyle.
Kyle, why are you ashamed.
You shouldn't be ashamed.
You should be happy.
Listen, man, I've been doing this show for 4 years now, and every year I get my skull bashed in by the other two guys over there in red.
We're being nice to
Hey,
you.
Kyle, I'm here. I'm your emotional support.
Thanks. It just has not worked out well for me.
Kyle, one of these years you have to be right. Just one of these
And
years.
this is it. Hopefully. I don't know what your final prediction is going to be, but hopefully you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I hope, but yeah, I've got this as a win.
So 4-0, 4-0,
3-1, 3-1.
3-1, 3-1. Okay. The game that we plan on going to at Purdue at Perdon't. They're going to be playing in Drew Brees' house. Second year under Walters. Devin Maccabee is still on that fucking roster.
Somehow.
Jesus Christ. Just because of him, I have this. I think this will be one of those games that. Okay, how about this? I think Purdue, and we asked Adrian who he hated to play the most, and he said he hated to play Purdue. He hates them. And I think it's a underrated venue to play in. Like, some people are like, oh, they're only going to bring 40 people. Okay, well, if that's the case, it's going to be hard to muster up energy for yourself, if that's the case. Or you're going to see like 50,000 people in those black pajamas, right? And they're doing the train thing and they're going nuts. Either way, I think this will be an L for Nebraska. I think we are going to see a letdown game here.
Okay.
And don't ask me why. Don't make me give a nuanced statistical answer. I just in my loins. I think this is just going to be one of those freaking games. And bottom line, Mike.
Yes.
Any game that you attend, I just automatically think Mike's gonna fuck it up somehow.
I do.
That's fair.
I haven't
Like I think the players, when they go out on the field or they're warming up or whatever, and they see Mike, they go, God damn it.
They can
Damn
just
it.
sense him.
I haven't seen Nebraska win a road game, and I've gone to a road game every year since like 2012.
Thank you for solidifying my case.
No, I'm with you there. And that's why my prediction
No, come on. No.
is that Nebraska will get a road win while Mike is in attendance. The reason I say that is because I don't think Hudson Carr is all that. I think he's all right. We beat them pretty good last year, 31-14, I believe.
Okay.
And I just think there's going to be a lot of the same. And we beat them with a not good quarterback play. And a lot of the players that we beat them with last year are on the roster. And I don't think Purdue's good. And I don't think Walters is a good coach.
Sure.
I think that's a shit show. And they have a really hard schedule. Purdue is going to win 2 games this year. And I pray to God it's not against Nebraska. One of those games. But I'm going to say we win that game and we are 4-1. And you're at 3-2.
I am.
So I'm going to make everyone really sad.
Kyle.
Oh, sorry.
Mike just said that you haven't seen a road win since when?
I haven't seen us win a road game since 2014.
2014. Perfect. Do you know the last time I saw a road win? Never. I've never seen a road win.
Oh, no.
Never once. And that is why this is my lock of the century.
Fuck yeah.
This is a Husker dub.
Woo!
I'm finally getting it in Indiana. We're getting that fucking win.
And we get a rage in Indiana.
Yes, absolutely. Nebraska beats Purdue. We're getting it. We're
TP
getting
Ross Aid. TP that bitch.
That's 5-0 for Connor.
Attaboy Con. Oh, Kyle. Oh, no.
Do it with me, Kyle. Do it with me.
5-0, baby.
That's 5-0. That's 5-0 for the boys.
Hey, good for you.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Ryan Walters has anything figured out over there, and they're projected to be the worst in the Big Ten next year. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't think they're going to be.
They are supposed to be just
dog water.
pathetic. They are supposed to be. Okay. After that, they come back home and they play Butgers. Okay. This is a Cinderella team for everybody. Everybody loves them some Rutgers. And yeah, I'm not saying that their reasons are bad. I like Greg Schiano. I think Nebraska will come home and they will get the dub against Butgers. They've never lost to Butgers in Big Ten play or ever. Not saying that's my reasoning, but I think everybody's in love with Rutgers. And I'm just like, Can we stop with the Rutgers love, please? Can we stop? Like, you guys are trying too hard to find a narrative to latch on to. So, a Nebraska dub here.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I was listening to Damon and Ravi talk on the radio a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about you got to beat teams like Rutgers because they don't invest in their football program. They don't give a fuck about their football program, and you do. And so it got me thinking about, okay, the teams that don't invest in football, we should be beating those teams. And I feel like our program should be ahead of where Rutgers is at. And I think what they do well is run the football. And I would have liked to think that our defense can stop that. So I think you defend your home turf. It's fine. It's about fucking time to defend your turf.
Win at home.
You go win. Take care of business. That's a dub.
Okay.
I'm going to keep this one short because you guys have covered a lot of what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say 6-0.
6-0. KB 6-0.
Nope.
Oh,
You're the Buckers lover.
I knew he'd say no to this one.
Nope. I think Greg Schiano, I think he's getting a lot of praise. And if you just look, 2023, right? This is not just like, okay, their offense was a little bit better than us. No, I mean, their turnover margin was better. Special teams was better. Their defense was only a couple spots away from where we were at. They are like, if I were to pick the arch nemesis this year of Nebraska, Rutgers would be it. And I just think this is the one. This is the one that they drop. For whatever reason, this is the one.
So when you say arch nemesis, what you really mean is just their like polar opposite, right?
Evenly matched.
Evenly, like everything that Rutgers does well is everything Nebraska doesn't, right? Is
I mean, as far as 2023,
right?
2023, look at the stats; they're right here. Points per game, they're better. Net passing yards, net rushing yards, turnover margin, field goals, and they weren't that far behind for defense.
Now, Kyle, at the risk of, so I'll say that you said that their turnover margin was better.
Yeah,
everybody's was better.
Everybody in the country, actually.
But that goes into why Nebraska continually wins 3-4 games a year.
Right.
Well, it's another reason why I actually I understand looking at turnover margin. We haven't seen a green number on turnover margin yet, have we?
And you won't.
No, we literally will not.
Kyle knows.
It's also why I refuse to look at that stat because there was, and while I appreciate this person's effort, there was one person on that team that contributed a whole lot to that number. And that person is no longer here, playing elsewhere. So,
Arizona State.
Facts.
Yeah. So the turnover margin, yeah, it's nasty. It's gross. I refuse to look at that number as I'm looking forward to this coming season.
I'd hope you weren't looking at that being what 6? Are we 6-0? You say?
Yeah.
6-0.
So I'm 5-1,
Yeah.
5-1, 5-1, and 4-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the 7th game. Okay. Whenever you talk to anybody that covers Nebraska football or is a fan of Nebraska football, they always point to the first 7 games because let's be real here. They were afforded a nut here. Nebraska's the squirrel, and they gave them a nut. Whoever makes the schedule. Here you go.
They threw him a bone.
Can you do something here? Okay. So this is the end of the 7-game run where things should be pretty good. Okay. They go to Indiana to play the new, I forget their new head coach's name. I forget James Madison. I think they go, it's not really his name. That's where he's from.
Yeah.
Signetti. They go to Bloomington, Nebraska, and they will win. So after 7, I have them at 5-2.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is a game where I think if you go and beat a team like Purdue on the road, I think this is a similar game where you can go and beat Indiana on the road. I think you'll get the confidence you need to win a road game and then do that again in the same state in Indiana. So I like them against Indiana. I think that Indiana has a long ways to go, especially under a first-year head coach. So I think this is a win for Nebraska.
Thumbs up.
And through the 7 games, we will be 6-1.
Okay.
I am so sorry to everyone who already broke out their pitchers and was starting to mix up their Kool-Aid.
Dang.
This is my first L.
Wow.
This is my first L. Much like Kyle said, we know like we should beat Rutgers, we should beat Indiana. We're gonna drop one of them. I think Indiana is equipped to do it. I think as you come in, if my predictions are right, you're 6-0, you might start to look past teams like this. I think Indiana wins. And again, I think it's a close game, but I don't think the Huskers get it done.
Okay. 3-9 team last year.
Okay.
You called an L for Colorado, who is 4-8. Don't look at me for 3-9.
They beat us by 3 scores last year. That's my thing.
Yeah, we were ass last year.
Yeah.
We were ass.
I called a Purdue loss, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Listen,
I get it.
This is Nebraska football we're talking about here.
That is true. Those games are all not guaranteed dubs. Nothing is.
Like you point at a team from last year and their record. Well, I point to Nebraska's record for the past 10 years.
And I'm at 6-1 right now.
Me
For
too.
a team that won 5 games last year.
And I'm ecstatic. After we get to 6, I'm ecstatic. Kyle, what do you got?
KB. This is my bowl game bid right here. Boom. You got your 6 wins at Indiana.
Okay.
I cannot wait. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be insufferable. I cannot wait to hear Signetti start to panic. Because he came into like Big Ten media days and he's like, all I do is win. Everywhere I go, I win. I'm a winner. All this other stuff, right?
Wrong.
Yeah, we've heard all that before. And it never goes well. So I can't wait for him to eat his words. And right around, the 7-game mark for Indiana, I'm sure he's going to be like, well, I didn't consider this and I didn't. No, I just can't wait. And this is going to be Nebraska's bowl game bid, and we're celebrating the rest of the year regardless, because guess what? We're going to a bowl game.
And we're going to be planning our vacation as a pod.
That's it.
I can't wait to share another twin bed with Kyle.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yankee Stadium, here we come. Or wherever they play the Charmin Ultra Soft Bowl. So I'm 5-2 after 7.
And everybody else is 6-1.
Everybody else 6-1. Okay. Yeah. I hate being on the 5 right now.
I don't even
because they got to 5 last year.
Yeah.
And
they didn't take care of business.
I think we can probably make this next one quick, right?
Yeah.
At Ohio State in the Horseshoe loss.
That's an L. Last time I saw them play in the Horseshoe, they lost 62-3. And my wife had to tell me, we didn't even score a touchdown.
Thanks, Sarah.
Because they don't give you touchdowns for free. Just because we drove 1,000,000 hours to go to the game doesn't mean they're going to give you a touchdown.
Did they let us score?
They didn't let you score. And
that's so rude.
Isn't it rude?
It's a long drive.
So this is a game that I will put a bet on right now. Clip it, record it, do whatever you want.
Shit.
Oh, boy.
This is an L. If we win, I will, on a NBNR live stream, I'll shave my mustache if we win that game.
All right. We're going to save that.
That's an L.
The people watching are like, woo. They're invested in this. I was being sarcastic.
Kyle, go ahead.
It's an L.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, even the eternal optimist over here is like, nah. Next.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one might be interesting.
Yeah.
UCLA at home. I have them coming back to Memorial Stadium. They get handed an L in Ohio. And I think they come back and they're ready to play. I think they'll figure it out. I don't know much about UCLA. I know
they're a school in LA.
Yeah, that's it. Their head coach, who seems to have a pretty good sense of humor about things. So that's cool. Whatever. But I think Nebraska finds a way to win this game. And this is their bowl clincher for me.
All right.
I think Deshaun Foster is going to get his ass kicked in the Big Ten. I think that they got left hung and dry by Chip Kelly just bouncing Ohio State. And I think UCLA is going to have a lot of growing pains when they get into this Big Ten football conference. I think we take care of business, and I think it's very easily. I think we're going to out-physical that team, and Deshaun Foster is going to be very sad. And I'm going to be very happy because we'll have 7 wins.
There you go.
I think UCLA, for the 4 new additions to the Big Ten, is the least equipped to be here. I do think this will be a close game. It will be a nail biter, but the Huskers will get a dub.
Okay.
7-2.
You're not 7-2. You're 7-1.
No.
No.
Oh yeah. Ohio
Yeah,
State. Sorry.
7-2.
7-2. Yep.
This is an L. Or no, a W for me. Sorry. This is a win for me. I don't really know why. I just think it is. I don't have anything to give you here, but I just think it's a win.
That's fair. Look at their field goal attempts. Woo wee.
Mm-hmm.
8-7. Oh my God, they're worse than us.
That's our green.
They suck.
Jesus, guys.
They suck more.
Hold on.
you
Let's
still-
take 1 second. Kyle, can you bring up the stat screen big for us really quick? Because I want you guys to see this very large. Look at the turnover margin. +2. I mean, like the field goal thing is great to see green on there. The turnover margin that's that close? That's nasty.
And they're gonna do better with
That's nasty.
a first-year head coach
Oh my god.
that was all he's ever been as a running back coach. He's never been a coordinator. But don't worry, he played running back there, so he's qualified. We've seen that story before.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny because whenever we talk about teams coming to the Big Ten and like how that relates for Nebraska, I guess UCLA always gets lumped in with all the other teams. I'm like, UCLA, yeah.
Yeah, for what,
people-
basketball, baseball.
Yeah, but when people are talking about football, like they'll say, "Oh, UCLA's coming." I'm like,
Ooh.
okay.
I
Is
just
Brett Hundley their quarterback again? Like,
I just want to make a note too. They're coming on the 2nd of November. Like
It's gonna be
Oh,
so.
yeah.
it's gonna be
cold.
so
Now,
cold.
hold on a
Snow
second.
No,
That's-
you think, Kyle, you
that's-
think those guys from LA aren't used to very cold Nebraska November weather?
I'm sorry. Listen,
I know it's gonna come out.
Nebraska's not that fucking cold during football season. I'm sorry, it's just not. I have,
It is
I
if
have
you
the
live in
numbers
LA.
to back it up.
It is when it's in LA and when you're from LA, it's cold.
I guess, but
It is
listen,
a bit colder than LA.
just a bit. Listen, when you're playing football with pads on, and it's like, okay, we're talking about November, so it's gonna be 44 or something.
No,
You think it's gonna be colder?
I think
I don't think you guys
high
have,
30s.
you guys have not looked at this, man. I'm telling you, it's not that cold.
It really is. I mean, it's
There's
like
one cold game a year, and I'm sorry, like the coldest game in the past 3 years that I looked at was that Iowa game from last year, and that was 32 degrees. Like, it's not that cold, especially if you're in pads. I don't know.
right,
I
but
just think it's overstated.
we always say it wouldn't be so cold if it weren't for the wind.
It ain't for
It's
the
gonna be
window.
windy in there. It's gonna be
Yeah.
windy, and it's gonna be cold.
windy.
You're not wrong.
Ain't gonna rain.
You ain't going wrong. Okay,
Next,
the go to USC next. This will be interesting again because, like, what type of team is USC, especially this late in the year? People have their doubts about Lincoln Riley. No Caleb Williams. They're a weird team to me. I
Mhm.
just don't know what they are.
Yeah, especially with their defense. Like their defense was like bad. They couldn't cover a cough. They were that bad last year.
Yeah.
But don't worry, they got a new DC, so they're going to be better automatically. And I'm just like, and then come to a new conference while you're trying to learn that.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. This will just be one of those games where I just don't think Nebraska plays all that well, and I think they'll get the L on this one. So I have Nebraska at this point 6-4 after this game.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough game just because we have to go all the way to California to play the game in November. I don't think USC will be that good. I don't think they're going to be a good team. I just think that Nebraska will not win this game, given going across the country to go play in another time zone and everything else that comes with it. I don't think they're going to be a good team. I really don't think USC will be a good team, but I think they're going to beat Nebraska on November 2nd.
There's just something about this game that I just feel it's going to be just kind of boring.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll just be one of those games where you watch it and it's like you just forget it ever happened, and it's just another L. I don't know. That's just me. That's the vibes I get from this.
Okay, so I'm trying to go through this thought process in live time, and I'm going to try and make it very quick. O-line's not great. Caleb Williams, not there. Our defensive line is good. Our secondary worries me at times. I'm going to go ahead and call this the most boring win of the entire season.
Cool with me.
That'd be sweet.
I'm going to call that the most boring one of the entire season.
Okay. I think this is going to be a super frustrating game for Nebraska where they just cannot get off the field. I think they're just going to nickel and dime us through the air the whole game. So I've got this as an L for Nebraska.
Okay. So I'm at 6-4. Does everybody know their predictions, their record right now?
So
Yeah, 7-3.
7-3.
Okay.
He's
8
at
and 2.
8-2, 7-3.
8-2. So if they're 8-2, we're talking top 15.
We're talking some seriously important games coming
Yeah,
up.
like these games mean something.
Yeah.
In
Meaningful
November.
games in November.
We're not used to that. Okay. Next, Wisconsin at home. Nebraska, guys, has lost 10 in a row to these fucking guys. They break the streak. Wisconsin, usually they're like the darling, but you don't really hear anything about them this year. And it's kind of weird because second year under Fickle, and you would think that, hey, watch out, the Fighting Ficks are kind of cool, right? They might be on the verge of a playoff, Wisconsin's just not, it's not a good team. They're kind of in disarray, like the Berts in Illinois. I think Nebraska breaks the GD streak. And then they're going to be 7-4 after this game.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is interesting. So we talk about the way that Matt Rule and Dion kind of just their paths align, right? But there was another name that was thrown around with Nebraska too, and that's Luke Fickell. And this will be interesting too with the Matt Rule Luke Fickell thing. Luke Fickell won last year. I think he wins again. I think that Luke Fickell is a really good coach, and a year or two under Luke Fickell is going to be a pretty good Wisconsin team, even with their lack of quarterback play. I don't think that Van Dyke's going to be good, but I think that team, year two, Fickell, he'll figure it out, and he's gonna outcoach Matt Rule, and he's gonna beat Nebraska. So,
okay,
I want to disagree with the fact that you said Fickell will outcoach Rule. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I do
He
think
outcoached him last year. Time management, if you
that's
remember
correct.
that game.
Yeah, that's correct. You're
Indeed.
right. I do think Wisconsin is criminally underrated.
Okay.
I do believe this is an L. I would love to have that streak broken.
11.
I would love to have it.
Hey, what's one more?
But
At this point, whatever.
I have been all eyes on Wisconsin this entire offseason.
Yeah?
I think they're
You
going
got all eyes on
Yeah.
them? Okay. I didn't realize that was kind of your pet team.
Well, one of my employees that works at the brewery
That's right.
is went to the University of Wisconsin, is a big fan, and I get all of the news. And I looked at their win total, and they are so underrated. There's a lot of talent on that team. I think this is an L.
Yep, I'm going to have to agree. I think this is an L. And I hate that.
Jared's the only pumping sunshine.
I hate it so
guy.
bad.
Look at
That's
that.
what I do. I pump sunshane.
Yeah, that's what we always say about
I'm the
you.
sunshane boy.
That's what we always say. Jared's the positive one.
Yeah.
So, damn, 11 in a row, huh?
Yeah.
God damn. Jeez.
I
I
know.
mean, again, but it's just one more. Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay. At Iowa, Kirk has come back from being suspended for his one game. They are back to normal. LeVar Woods is still there. Phil Parker is still there. Cade McNamara, I don't know
Who cares?
what he is.
He's probably not playing.
He's technically a football player.
He will put a helmet on. Maybe. Who knows? Their defense will be good. Their special teams will still be good. They're at home. The black and gold's gonna go crazy. And Nebraska's gonna fucking lose. So I have Nebraska finishing the regular season at 7-5.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I think night games in Kinnick, although the stadium is highly overrated, and I have been to Kinnick multiple times.
You've gotten spit on at Kinnick.
I have been spit on at Kinnick by
Nice.
their wonderful fans. They are fantastic fans.
Mike did not deserve it.
Some might say best fan base in the country. But
Who the fuck has said that?
nobody. Iowa fans. I think they beat us. It's going to be a tough environment. Who knows how healthy we are coming into that game? And I think it's tough to beat Iowa at home on the road. And it's another game where I'm like, I want to win the game more than anything in the world. I would love to have 364 more days to fucking talk shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Iowa takes care of business, and we finish the season 7-5, which is still a good season.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to get fucky. I'm going to get fucky. You're going to see going into this game, it will be a top 10 Iowa defense.
Okay.
Fact.
Okay.
It will be a top 20 Nebraska defense. I think top 20 is fair, considering the schedule we're playing. We expect some regression there. If Cade McNamara is the starting quarterback for Iowa in that game, it's going to be a rock fight. Nebraska wins by a field goal to end the regular season 9-3.
Field goal at the buzzer? Or is it like a defensive stop kind of thing?
I'm saying within the last 2.5, maybe 3 minutes.
Coming up a little clutch then. Winning a one-score game.
Yeah. No,
would
not
be
even.
lovely.
Just a field goal. Not a touchdown.
Right.
A field goal.
Wow.
So you're ending the season at
9-3.
woo. KB.
Okay, I've got this as a win. I don't think their offense is going to be at all improved, and I think ours is. We were close to beating them last year. The only difference was special teams
And turnovers.
and turnovers.
I mean, we were better at special teams than that.
I mean, punting, sure.
Yeah.
So I think this is a win for Nebraska. I end my season at 8-4.
Okay.
Fuck, I'm the most optimistic. I don't like that.
Wow.
I don't like that.
Wow. Nobody could have predicted that.
Well, I mean, that Kyle would be. Little Kyle.
Well, okay, it's tough for me because, that's like all I talk about at work every day is stuff like this.
Uh-huh.
So it is tough.
So I ended at 7-5, and even, after the whole rule talking to the team about when there's butts and seats, you don't play the same.
Did that change your win-loss thing?
Okay. On one hand, I love Matt Rule. I think he is the most organized dude. You cannot ever accuse Matt Rule of not grinding. I feel like the dude is an absolute grinder. And I just felt like the fact that he had to say that to his team, it is just like, we're still doing this, right? And I just look at the best coaches that have ever coached. And I know this is a high bar, but Tom Osborne didn't have to do rah-rah shit. And Nick Saban didn't have to do rah-rah and all that. So that being said, I was leaning towards 6-6 after that. Because I was at 8, and I'm like, okay, it's 6. Because there's going to be 2 games where either the team doesn't execute when the time is, at its most crucial. Or, like we saw last year, I think the coaching staff, Matt Rule, might not handle the clock the best. So I just thought there was going to be 2 games where that happens. Then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be miserable anymore. I'm going to give him another win here. So I was originally 6-6, and then I was like, all right, let's just do 7. Let's do 7.
Can I give you an argument that you
Please.
talk about Nick Saban and Tom Osborne didn't need to do the rah-rah
I
shit?
acknowledged that was a high bar.
Well, no.
It's a crazy bar.
That's not where I'm going.
Okay.
Let's look at Tom Osborne at Nebraska. When you look at the rah-rah shit, as you phrase it, for Matt Rule, where do you see it? Is it Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? Did any of those exist when Tom was coaching? No, they didn't. Tom was definitely giving those kinds of speeches. You just didn't see it. Nick Saban, locked down. That you weren't seeing it. And they were winning. So was it less frequent? Probably. But that was still certainly happening. I can't imagine a coach just oh, yeah, you guys are winners. Let's go hit the field. That's not how that works.
Well, of course. I mean, that's overly simplifying.
No, I get that. But to say that they weren't doing the rah-rah stuff, I think that's I think that's also an oversimplification. I think maybe, sure, at a lesser rate, but we're in the age of social media and the age of we always need content, and that's all programs now. I mean, you still see Dabo Swinney looking for a job at a Burger King or something. But no, like we're going to see more of that because that's the age we're in. But I like what Matt Rule's doing, and I like being able to see that. It makes us feel both realistically for us as fans more a part of the program.
I just want to go on record. I know you're going to say so. I just want to go on record as saying that, yes, although I am usually negative or whatever, and I'm usually questioning things, I am Timmer. I Timmer.
Oh, yeah.
I trust in Matt Rule. I like what he's doing. If there's one thing you cannot accuse him of doing is not giving a shit, because he gives a shit and he grinds. And there's only so much the man can do. So, like, if it's not a good season, I don't think it's necessarily like Matt Rule sucks. I just think there's something in the water. That's all.
Yeah.
I Timmer.
Okay. Real quick, Mike wanted to do something. What is your ceiling and what is your floor? And I'll start with you, Jared.
Ceiling is 9. Floor would still have to be. I think they've established the floor now. I think the floor is 5 now. So floor is 5. Ceiling is 9.
Okay. I think my ceiling is 10. I think my floor is 6. I think the floor will and always will be moving forward.
Bull
Is 6-6 at Nebraska, no matter what. I think that is something you should guarantee with the quarterback play that we should be getting, just given that you're a blue blood program and you're in year 2 and beyond with Matt Rule. I think that he's a good enough coach that no matter what he is given, except last year, I mean, even last year, probably should have won 7 games, but we didn't. I think 6 is the floor no matter what. And I think 10 could be, just given that schedule, it could be 10. Like Connor, all the things Connor was saying, those are all real things. It's just like Nebraska
going to
hasn't-
happen?
Yeah, Nebraska hasn't done those things. So you, like me as a pessimist, I'm like, no, sorry, no.
Right. I mean, I automatically say you're nuts, but then like, if you want to be technical, like it could,
you could convince me. Yeah, but like I'm trying to do this thing with my brain, not my heart. Because if I do it with my heart, I'm like, yeah, we're going to go 9-3 or 10-2. But like I'm doing it with my brain, where it's like, given the history that I've seen it with my own eyes in person. I've seen it.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm gonna say that those things are gonna happen. So floor 6-6, ceiling 10-2. Connor, what do you got?
So I called 9-3.
You did
on that schedule. My ceiling, and I'm sorry again for all the people already mixing their Kool-Aid. That ceiling, absolute ceiling, is 10-2.
Okay.
That is the absolute ceiling. I cannot in any way convince myself it goes higher. My floor is 7-5. I believe we'll get 7. I cannot convince myself otherwise. Again, you talk about the schedule we've got this year. It is almost a gift coming in with what we hope to see out of Dylan Raiola, what we've seen out of Matt Rule as he goes through the first 2 years of his program rebuilds. 7 wins, especially considering the schedule, is absurdly reasonable to me, but I can't see us going over 10.
I think my ceiling is 9. I think it's 9 just because I'm already feeling like I'm stretching myself to ask for 8. And I think the floor is 6. Mike, I think you're spot on. I think from here on out, I honestly don't think this team will accept anything less than 6 or is capable of allowing themselves anything but 6 or more.
So I guess my question is, when you guys look at your floors, are you looking at expectations versus this current schedule or expectations for the program moving forward?
A little bit of both.
Well, so when we look at like these predictions, I think it's important to like base it specifically on the schedule we're facing.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I said it's 6-6.
And you still believe 6. Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I think that looking at the schedule, there are 6 teams there that are not even close to being as good as Nebraska right now. I think that is like a guaranteed. Like, you should beat 6 teams. That is the bare minimum, the floor. They have to do it.
Yeah.
Right. But I also kind of said the same thing last year.
Do we have anything in the chat that is interesting?
Any rah chats?
Anybody saying you're dumb? We're gonna beat Iowa. We're gonna beat Colorado. Nothing like that.
We're gonna beat Ohio State.
No, not in my house. The YouTube channel said that T.O. definitely gave a rah speech in the 95 Orange Bowl. But other than that, I mean, everybody's just kind of been.
Hey, just so you know, like, if you're a coach, you can still go like, "Hey, win the game!" Like,
yeah,
you know, like, is that a rah speech? Like, "Hey, play good." Like, I don't know. Does that qualify as rah?
So here's like, I'm gonna go conspiracy Connor.
Rah, boy, rah.
My conspiracy is everyone knows Tom Osborne. You know, very devout, very reserved,
very anti-weed.
My theory is that
anti-gambling
in that locker room,
anti-fun.
My theory is that in that locker room, Tom is like, I swear to fucking God, you better get those hits. We are going to win by 30. And just like everybody shut up about it.
Ethan Piper's mom, get up here.
Yeah.
Connor, I want to say that conspiracy is more ridiculous than the moon landing.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man.
I know for a fact that is more outlandish than the moon landing.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, were you in that locker room?
I think I've listened to enough people that were in that locker room. I think that could have got out.
And no, they kept it quiet, baby.
Yeah,
they kept it quiet.
That is worse than
just
the
like
moon landing.
just like all the astronauts kept it quiet.
Yep.
I'll let you beat whoever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that Tom can get his voice above a 6 if he tried. I think if he's one of those guys that if he yelled, he'd still be talking quieter than what I do when I talk.
All right. Well, we're at an hour and 40 minutes here.
I think we hit
yeah,
about
Kyle.
So real quick before we wrap this up, I just want to say live show at Herdat Sports Bar
in La Vista.
And also, by the way, for those of you that don't know, and none of you do, NBNR is now hosting a Herdat Sports show called Cornhusker Counseling. Every I guess it'd be the day after every game. Now that there's like Friday games and whatever.
After every home game.
No, it's every game now.
Every game.
It is every game.
Every game. We're hosting Cornhusker Counseling at the Herdat Sports Bar. I believe that Herdat Sports Bar is open at the time that we're going to be starting. I believe it's 11 to noon. So if you want to come in and just grab yourself some lunch, get ready for the NFL game day, we'll be there. We'll be taking your comments and concerns about whatever happened the night before or the day before.
You said concern. You said concerns. Maybe they won't be concerns. Maybe they'll be.
Hey, maybe everything went great. Maybe we're not counseling at all,
or we're counseling them because
they don't know how to handle.
They don't know how to handle it. Yeah. So I think it was a really tough process for us. We all had to get licensed to become counselors for this fan base. And we finally got it in. The paperwork got in for Connor. He was the last one, but he is officially a licensed Cornhusker counselor.
It's crazy.
It was crazy.
I don't know how I got approved.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a long process, but we all are licensed Cornhusker counselors now.
Yes, we are all licensed psychiatrists.
And I think Ravi will be joining us every now and then as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to remind people too, if you go to mbnrpodcast.com, you can find our blog. It's called Red Zone Reflections. It's written by Emily Kading and our friend Coach BA.
Who, by the way, if you didn't see the comment, Coach BA sounds like he's agreeing with you on the moon landing now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he is. Just a heads up, Coach BA is dropping a UTEP preview blog, which is going to be really good because the guy knows his X's and O's. So he will know a lot more about UTEP than we will. And I think you should go read that at mbnrpodcast.com.
Are you saying that BA knows ball?
He probably does.
BA. Okay. You're right. Go to mbnrpodcast.com. You should also visit us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram
and on YouTube.
What are we at? Are we at 800 yet?
No,
we're closing in. A few hundred more subscribers, and Mike is going to get a neck tat. He's going to do it. He's going to say he's not going to, but he will. Look at that beautiful neck on that screen right now. Look at that. You subscribe and you can put a logo on that neck.
Just across his neck, it's going to be 1000 for 1,000.
I like it. Honestly, I like it a lot.
I'm gonna go, Mike, what did you do?
1K Mikey. It's gonna be M1KE.
Yo, that's good. Oh my god, that's really good.
Oh no,
Kyle, you're good, man. Okay. We have merch and stuff. Go buy merch.
don't mind merch. We got the Rule Raiola 24 shirts.
Yeah,
Those are
Rule Raiola
sick.
24. I don't know if you guys know this, but Raiola was officially named the starter a few days ago.
I'm shocked.
So go buy that damn shirt.
Dude, the new hats are sick too.
Yeah,
The new hats are
GBR,
so
yeah.
cool.
Come on, guys. We need you. All our listeners. Live show Friday night, 6:30, Heard at Sports Bar. Okay. And it's free. Missing anything?
No, that's it.
Spotify, Apple Music,
Yeah,
leave
Spotify.
reviews.
Yeah, listen. If you go to Google and you type in "No Block, No Rock," we should pop up on everything.
Yeah.
Right? That's how we should close the show. Google us.
Figure it
And
out.
that's it. Hashtag FIO. Figure it out. Come on, people. Okay. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Delaware.
Connor Cavalack.
Kyle Byers.
As always, and I can finally say this
Get it.
and actually mean it.
Scream it. Scream it.
Beat UTEP! And GBR.